everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have my September Book of the Month box, so let's check it out and see what's inside. This is how it arrives, and at the top of the box, this is my Book of the Month choice for September. It is called The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin, and this is a thriller. The quick take on this one is misleading omens and untrustworthy figures abound in this chilling tale about a couple who move into a murder house. On the back it says, a gruesome history, a hostile neighborhood, a new owner with a shocking secret. Welcome to the Blackwood House. And like all Book of the Months, it does have the September 2023 stamp here on the back. This was one of 5 Book of the Month choices for September. The other choices were a legal thriller called The Intern by Michelle Campbell, a contemporary fiction called Evil Eye by Etaf Rum, a romance called You Again by Kate Goldbeck, and a historical fiction called The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. With Book of the Month, you can now order up to 5 books every month. This month I got 4, and the next one in the box is The Collected Regrets of Clover. This one is by Mikki Brammer. This was one of the May 2023 choices. This one also has a good teaser on the back. Death she gets, it's life she can't figure out. And the quick take is, prepare to shed a couple of tears for this moving, inspirational story about a death doula learning not to fear living. I've heard so many good things about this one. If you've read it, let me know in the comments below. The next book is one of the choices from the September add-ons. This one is called Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. The quick take on this one is, in this piercing portrait of a bygone era, a vicious serial killer targeting young women strikes fear into a nation. The last book I ordered this month was Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. I ordered this one because I read her book Happiness Falls as one of my August choices, and I loved it. I loved her style of writing, and I wanted to read another one by her, so decided to check this one out. This was a Book of the Month choice from April 2019. Again, if you've read this one, let me know how you liked it in the comments below. At the very bottom of the box, we have the monthly bookmark. This one says, In the Throes of Prose. Those were my September books, but I want to go over my August books with you real quick. I had such a great reading month. So many good books this month. Let me start off with Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True. This is a thriller. This was twisty. This was such a great book. This is the first time I've ever read a book by Lisa Jewell, so I'm definitely going to check out more of her books. This book is about 2 women that meet by chance and find out they are birthday twins. They are born on the same day and the same year. And one of them, Alex, is a podcaster, and the other one, Josie, decides that her story is definitely podcast worthy. So they get together, start recording, and just twist and turns everything from chapter to chapter. I loved it. I could not put it down. I highly recommend it. The next book I read was a memoir, The Many Lives of Mama Love by Lara Hardin. I love this book. I love memoirs, and this one was so good. This was about a mom, and she was addicted to heroin. She was stealing money and credit cards. She was doing all sorts of things, and she finally got caught. She writes about her time in jail. She writes about getting out. And just the transformation she takes through this book is so amazing. It's so inspirational. It is so well written. I highly recommend this one, especially if you like memoirs. The next book is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. This book is about a husband and father, and he goes missing. And the only person who knows what happened to him is his son, Eugene, who has a rare genetic disorder, and he is unable to speak. The point of view of this book is from Mia. She is Eugene's 20-year-old sister. And I just found this book fascinating. It definitely had some slow parts, and it did focus a lot about Eugene's genetic disorder. It feels like the author did a lot of research for us to dig a little deeper, not be so surface level when it comes to anyone with a disability, because in Eugene's case, there was definitely more than meets the eye. The only thing I did not love about this, and some people will love it, so it's not a spoiler at all, is I personally didn't love the ending. Some other people will probably love the ending. So that's the only downfall for me for this book. This would be a great book club book. There's so many topics you could discuss. So despite being a slow read, I do recommend Happiness Falls. And I did enjoy this one so much that I did order another Angie Kim book this month, Miracle Creek. So stay tuned for next month and I'll let you know how I like this one. Next book of the month book I read was Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. I've actually had this one for a while. It's just been in my to be read pile. I actually had time to get around to it this month. This one was from April 2023. So this book is about a 26-year-old American who is living in London, and her name is Adelaide. Personally, this is my favorite book of the year. I loved it so much. Definitely going to be my vote so far for book of the month, book of the year. But this book is definitely not for everyone. It's very raw, it's very emotional. It is about a toxic relationship and it does get dark. The writer is so relatable. I definitely connected with Adelaide, and when I was going back and reading reviews after I finished it, it was kind of heart-wrenching to read about how so many people just connected so much with this character. This was Genevieve Wheeler's debut novel. I cannot wait to see what she has coming out next. The last book I read this month, this was not a book of the month book, but this is a book of the month author. I've actually read 2 of her other books that I have gotten from book of the month, and it is by Emily Henry, and this one is called Happy Place. I didn't love it. Romance is not my favorite genre, so that is probably the main reason. Most of the book focuses on the relationship of Harriet and Wynne. But my favorite aspect of this novel was the relationship between the 3 roommates. Sabrina, Cleo, and Harriet have been friends since college, and they're kind of just diving through the tricky part of life where you're no longer in college, you're going your own ways, but you definitely want to treasure that friendship. I've also read People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read by Emily Henry. I think People We Meet on Vacation might be my favorite of hers. If you love a fun, light romance, definitely check out some Emily Henry books. That was everything in my September Book of the Month box. If you're interested in trying Book of the Month, I will have a coupon code in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.